I don't have any fancy game music, but it's time to play the popular game Armchair GM, where we decide to be general managers and see if we could do the job as well as, actual NHL general managers. Today on Armchair GM, we decide whether or not Corey Perry should stay a member of the Montreal Canadiens. He's done pretty well in his one season with the team. It seems as if the players, including the younger ones, seem to gravitate around him. He's done a great job on that fourth line with Eric Stahl and Yoel Armia. Should the Montreal Canadiens try to re-sign Corey Perry for next season, and for how much? Let's try to pretend we're all Marc Bergevin. We're all wearing either the red suit or the green suit or whatever suit he chooses to wear, and we're sitting with Corey Perry in our office trying to figure out what deal works for him to come back, if that's what you so choose.
I think, yes, if Corey Perry wants to come back with the Montreal Canadiens, he's someone that you would bring back, but not for a huge amount. $1 million could be his next contract, another one-year contract for $1 million. He's 36 years old now. He's getting towards the end of his career. He's done a great job so far with the Montreal Canadiens. As you mentioned, the young players have absolutely loved having him in the locker room and being able to learn from him, and that's been a huge benefit. And also he grew up wanting to play for the Montreal Canadiens, so that's a nice storyline as well. And Corey Perry's a guy that you love when he's on your team, but hate him when you have to play against him. But I just think I wouldn't go over $1 million. That I don't think at this point of his career that it's worth paying him any more than that.
And I think, he's shown great leadership, in the dressing room, on the ice. Here's a guy, like Jess said, that is really, really proud to put on a Canadiens jersey, loves the city, loves the whole environment. Then it comes down to, okay, at 36 years old, how much is it going to cost to sign him and what you're going to get out of him for a whole year at that age. But, somewhat of a good note is he really likes it here in Montreal, would like to be part of it. Then it's dollars and cents as far as how they can make it work.
Yeah, I don't have a red suit, I don't have a green suit, and I certainly can't grow Marc Bergevin's hair. But playing the GM here, I think they have to bring Corey Perry back. It's amazing to think that nobody wanted him. I mean, he was sitting at home in London, and nobody wanted him. It was right before, like a couple weeks before the season started, and Bergevin called him. And Bergevin called Shea Weber first also and asked him about it, and Weber thought it was a great idea. Signed him for $750,000. Corey Perry's made $86 million in his career. He's made
plenty of money.
He's not playing for money anymore. He wants to win another Stanley Cup. He's spoken about how when he won it with Anaheim, he was so young and maybe didn't appreciate it as much as he thought he would. He should have, and thought he'd get back easier. He's never gotten, but he got back last year with Dallas. But there's also pride involved. I mean, he signed for a minimum contract. If I'm Marc Bergevin, I would say double the contract, but I'd offer him $2 million. $2 million.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
It's to me, it's more of, or start at 1.5 and be willing to go up to 2 million. It's not a lot of money in today's hockey world.
In a flat cap era, that's a lot of money. I'm sorry.
Well, I think he's worth it though. I mean, and other teams.
Wow.
He's not going to be sitting at home this offseason with nobody wanting him. I mean, there's going to be other teams interested also. But the thing is, as just mentioned, he grew up as a Canadiens fan. He cheered for the Canadiens. He spoke about how much it means to wear the sweater. But his family hasn't been here with him. His family's back in London. So you have to wonder if he wouldn't want to experience a real full season as a member of the Canadiens, with the full house at the Bell Centre, with his family here with him, with everything else that's involved with a regular NHL season, going out to restaurants in Montreal, all that kind of stuff. So you have to wonder if that in the back of his mind, he'd like another season to get the full Canadiens experience. And I think, 1.5 to 2 million, I think he's worth it. He's shown it. He might be 36. His hands aren't 36. His compete level isn't 36. The players, Jesperi Kotkaniemi said it's an honor to play on the same team with him. This guy who started on the taxi squad, never complained, never bitched, just said, you wait for your opportunity, and when that opportunity comes, you make the most of it. And he did. So I think he should be rewarded for it. And if Bergevin doesn't want to give him 1.5 million or 2 million, I'm sure there's another team that will. And again, I don't think Corey Perry is playing for money now. I think it's pride, and I don't think he's going to sign again for a minimum NHL contract.
I'm with you on the fact he won't sign for a minimum. I'm still stunned at the number that you brought out. Now, here's the thing. I'm with you on the fact that Corey Perry has provided a lot of intangibles, just a lot of great things on the ice as well for this Montreal Canadiens team. I'm in favor of him returning to the Montreal Canadiens. My ballpark figure is around Jess's number. I thought 900,000 as a starting point, and then see how much farther up you can go. But if we start getting to a point where there's $1.5–2 million, remember, this is going to be a guy who's going to be playing bottom 6 minutes for your team, who's getting up there in age as well. I don't know if 2 million or 1.5 million is the right number for Corey Perry, just so to speak. I understand that there are going to be suitors for him, but the Montreal Canadiens, just like every other team in the National Hockey League, and hey, maybe that might influence their plans as well, are going to be dealing with a flat salary cap. And yes, there are going to be free agents that are going to be moving off the books and movement that's going to be done and whatever, but general managers are not going to have the same amount of money to play with that they would in a, what we call, I guess, a normal off season. So that's what made me really surprised at the number that you threw out.
He is a bottom 6 forward, but he's also a key guy on the power play. And the other guys are learning about how to go to the net and whatnot from. So, I mean, if I'm Marc Bergevin, that's the number I think he's worth. But Bergevin's going to know how much he has to work with the cap. And if you sit down with Perry and say, look, I'd love to give you $2 million, but you just can't fit it under the cap. How about 1.2 or something like that? And then it comes down to what we were speaking about before again, how much Corey Perry wants to remain a member of the Canadiens and come back. So if Bergevin's honest with him that way and says, I'd love to give you more, but here's all I can give you, that might work.
Okay. Oh, I'm not sure if anyone else wanted to. Rick, you didn't give out a dollar figure for Corey Perry.
No, I mean, I look at 56 game regular season versus an 82. A guy 36 years old. A little bit more of a challenge, I think, even though he does bring some positives. But I think it would be really difficult, for me to see him get a $2 million figure at this stage of his career. But again, it's all about availability of money, and after that, if that's what he wants to do, they could probably find a way to get him to come back on his terms, because he doesn't need the money.
I don't know if you guys could hear my dogs barking upstairs there, but I'm thinking they're Corey Perry fans.
Yeah, I was about to say you should ask them how much money they think he's worth. They seem to be pretty opinionated. Anyway, be sure to let us know in the comments section how much you think Corey Perry is worth. It could be league minimum, it could be 1 million, it could be 3 million, it could be however much money you want. It doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, it's Marc Bergevin who's going to be signing the contracts here, and not any of us, if Corey Perry stays, of course. Also, visit hockeyinsideout.com to check out our full episode and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's fun, I promise.